Oh, hi. I'm Jen, and welcome to my work office. This is not my music studio. This is not my film space for when I do my tap dance stuff. This is not my vlog space. This is my work desk. But hey, it works for today's video because today I wanted to talk to y'all about auditioning for The Voice. Auditioning for The Voice or like America's Got Talent or any of those shows that are currently doing online auditions. Now, I didn't think this was possible, but this is, I guess, one of those bonuses that came out of the pandemic where things that weren't able to be done online, suddenly you're like, oh, I can do this from home? Nice. And one of those things is auditioning for a big show like The Voice. I didn't think it was possible to not have to like travel to Atlanta, wait 6 days in a line that wrapped around a building in like oppressive heat or intense cold, and hope that when I finally got to the front of the line, they didn't close the whole thing, and that I could sing and hopefully the right person would hear it. And yeah, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for like the hopes and dreams of a minute and a half. But now you can do it online. And I've done this a couple of times now. And I thought it would be really, really cool to kind of go through the process with you, because there may be some of you guys out there that want to do this, but maybe you didn't know was a thing, or you're not really sure how to, or you're really intimidated by the idea of it, which was absolutely me the first time. So I wanted to take you through the process and kind of take you along with me on my audition today. So every once in a while, I get emails from America's Got Talent and The Voice and all kinds of shows like that saying, hey, we're doing a virtual open call. And I'm like, I like virtual. Virtual's fun. I can be business on the top and y'all don't know I'm wearing PJ pants on the bottom. Like, I like virtual. This is good. And so I open the email and it says, oh, January 11th and 12th, or, whatever dates there are, we're having open call auditions. You should sign up. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, because I'm busy, or that's just a really, really bad time for me, or there aren't any time slots that work for me. But hey, this time I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. I'm going to shoot my shot and let's see what happens. And the process of doing it is so stressful yet relaxing all in one. So I wanted to take you through it. First, I wanted to give you some tips that they give you, but also tips that I can give you to help you through the process and have a better chance at having a really, really good virtual audition. First things first, there is a reason that we are in my office right now. This is where I'm doing my audition today. My audition is in an hour and a half, and I'm just kind of like prepping and getting ready. The first thing is that you need a great background and you want to present yourself in a good space. I thought about doing this standing because I do sing better when I stand, but I don't have anywhere in my house that has a good backdrop for standing that also has good acoustics. So these are all factors you got to think about. So before you do your audition, look around your room, look around your house, and see where it might be the best visually. Wait, that didn't make sense sentence-wise, but visually, where would be the best to film? Because this is a good backdrop. This is the backdrop that I use for like Zoom calls and one-on-one student meetings and stuff like that. It's not the best background, I'll give you that. It's not very like, I'm going to shoot a music video here, but it's clean. It has like a nice backdrop, and it's got some things that kind of get into my personality, but it's nothing too overwhelming. It's lit very well, and that is a good one. Like, I am in this space because I have a light, a light, a light, and a light. This is a very, very well lit space. My music studio is not very well lit right now. I am still working on that. So this is the best place for me to do this audition. So that's why I'm here. Would there be better places in my house? Yes, if they were set up, sure. But today, this is what I've got, so I made the conscious decision to choose this space for those reasons. good backdrop, good lighting, and it's quiet as long as the train doesn't come during my audition. There's a train like 3 miles away, and for some reason I can hear it from my house. It's 3 miles away and I can hear it, and I don't know why, but I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. It's terrible. But hopefully it doesn't interrupt my audition. It only comes once every like 5 hours or so. So I just heard it right before I started filming. I should be in the clear, but I guess we'll see. So once you've found a place that looks good, you also have to make sure that that place is like ideal when it comes to audio. That's a good way of putting it. So ideal when it comes to your audio setup. The place I'm in right now, it doesn't have a lot of reverb. It doesn't have a lot of echo. Now, reverb does make your voice sound better, but when it's on a video recording and there's so much of it, like, don't film in your bathroom, okay? Yes, we all sound so much better in the bathroom, but on a recording, it doesn't translate really well. So you want to make sure you're in a place that has a nice amount of reverb, but not an overwhelming amount. That is something that it says on their website. Both of these tips are. They have this, it's like video audition tips is the page that I'm on. The most important thing that they say is to be yourself, but we'll talk about that. But the next two very, very important things are make sure that you are in a visually good space and audio, like, ideal space. I'm not saying things right, but hopefully I'll be able to sing well later. Like, obviously I can't speak today, but singing maybe. We'll see. It basically says, be sure to record your performance with minimal sounds and distractions. So hopefully the train doesn't get me. I shut off my air. I don't have my computers having any sound right now. The only sounds that could happen are the train or Bento, my cat. And here's hoping that he's a good boy. You want to be a good boy today, even though he's absolutely not being one right now. My chair squeaks a little bit, but as long as I sit toward the front of it, it won't make any extraneous noise, things like that. It also says that it literally talks about reverb. Where is this? I'm on their website right now trying to impart to you all of the important things. Natural reverb. It says, we all love a room with reverb and echo, but sometimes it can be too much. If it sounds like you're in a cave, rethink the space. So I've chosen a space that is in a large room with high ceilings, but it's carpeted and has a lot of sound dampening. So I have the best of both worlds. My voice will carry, but there's a lot to dampen the extra echo. So think about that when you're putting your space together. And then that leads me to one of the most important things. Well, there's two more things that I want to talk about, but one of them is like one of the most important things that I didn't think about the first time I auditioned. First time I auditioned, I used my laptop's webcam and I used my laptop's built-in microphone. Y'all, that wasn't a good idea. The first thing that they see from you is your video. Like, you haven't started singing yet. They just see you on video. So if you're using a grainy webcam with bad lighting, yeah, I don't think they're going to pay much attention to you. It's just a bad first impression. So make sure that it looks really high quality. Use a good camera. Use your phone camera. Like, do it via your phone. That's possible. You can log in via your phone and do it right on your phone. You can use a PC that has a better camera. You can get a webcam for that. I have a 4K webcam. I just don't know how to like install it. So today I will be doing it with my phone. But I will learn how to install my 4K camera at some point. It's a webcam. I don't know how to do any of that. Sean, help. Basically me with technology. Sean, help. Unless it's music technology, then I got it. But audio visual, I defer to the professional videographer. He can help me. So audio and video, you want to make sure that it looks good and it sounds good. About that audio, use a microphone. Please do not make the mistake that I did and use your laptop's built-in microphone. If you use your laptop's built-in webcam and microphone, you're going to look like and sound like you're in a Zoom call. No one looks good or sounds good in a Zoom call, okay? So try to upgrade your setup as much as you can. Now, my good mic, my recording mic, I just moved. My studio's still being set up. my mic is not set up on any of my PCs and I don't have enough time. It's not set up on any of my computers. I don't have enough time to truly set it up for this audition. So today I will be using my trusty Yeti. Is it a dynamic vocal mic? No. But will it be a lot better for this purpose than my laptop's built-in mic? Yes. It also says don't use any like vocal processors, don't like overly edit or anything. They want to hear you, not an edited version of you. It says exactly that on their website as well. So the other most important thing to do before your audition is to pick the correct song. Now there's so many factors that go into this. Obviously, pick a cover that really makes you shine. The first song that I thought about doing today was don't laugh, but like laugh, okay? Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I sing that song well. I really love the song, and I thought it would be good to get their attention with a little bit of a laugh. However, I realized the never gonna parts that come in between each line, I can't accurately hit those notes every single time. It's usually kind of like a guesstimation of what those notes are. Just personally, I have a hard time with that. But when I get to give you up, I'm right on key. But it's those, I was just like, you know what? I don't need to do this just in case there's a stickler for being in tune, or, you know, maybe like the expert on that song is part of the audition. I don't know. I don't need to do a song that I'm not 100% confident on. So then I thought about doing Gravity by Sara Bareilles. I know that I sing that song very well. It's just one of those songs that just works for my voice. I sing it very well if it's in a lowered key. You are allowed to sing to backtracks or accompany yourself on the guitar. You also are allowed to sing a cappella. I prefer to sing with a backtrack. So, because I'm garbage at the guitar, I'm not going to accompany myself on that. It would be the worst thing. They would just turn it off right away. I can get chords out, but y'all, no, absolutely not. So I went on YouTube and I found some karaoke backtracks for a lower key Gravity by Sara Bareilles. And I practiced with it because we don't always sing in the lower key. We kind of just sing along to what's on the radio, right? So I wanted to make sure I knew what I was going to be singing in the exact key I was going to be singing it. But that's not the only modification I made to the song. You can sing it however you want to. But please understand, you only get 1.5 minutes. That's all. You get 1.5 minutes to shoot your shot and hope that they take you. And that has to include introducing yourself and singing your song. Gravity is kind of a slow song, and it takes longer than 1.5 minutes to get from the start of the song to the end of the chorus. You're allowed to sing a verse and a chorus. That's it. So it takes longer than 1.5 minutes to get from the start of the song to the end of that first chorus. Yeah, that I was going to get cut off in the video, guaranteed, because you really only get 1.5 minutes. It's like timed. So I was like, what can I do? So I decided to do 2 things. I am starting with the second verse, not the first verse. You can sing any verse and chorus you want. It does not have to be the first one. So I'm starting with the second verse because it is half the length of the first one. It's just one stanza and then it goes right into the chorus. So short and sweet, gonna get that done. Also, as I was practicing, I realized I was still not giving myself enough time to really introduce myself, which is also a big thing to do. You gotta tell them who you are. You gotta tell them, kind of give them a part of your personality, a part of your story that gives them a reason to put you on the show. So don't just breeze through the intro like it doesn't matter. Don't give it a whole minute, but like give it a good 15-20 seconds so that they can know who you are before you start singing, so that you're not just another voice to them, you know? So I wanted to make sure whatever I did was like 1 minute long. So I sped it up. I decided to do 1.1 per, or 110%. Sorry, on YouTube it's like 1.1, but 110% the speed. So it's a little faster and a little lower because that works best for me and it works best for the time frame that I have. So I'm doing the short stanza into the chorus, sped up a little bit and lowered because that will show off my voice as best as possible. I'm an alto and there's no shame in that. If you're an alto, just lower the key. Sing it as best you can. You don't have to sing high to be good. You can sing as an alto and be really, really phenomenal. So that's just my little little PSA for altos out there who always feel like maybe we're not that good because we can't sing high. Oh no, you can be brilliant even if your range is lower. Just sing as best you can. So, now that I picked my song, I have my setup, I'm in the right place, I'm well lit, it also says that you kind of want to dress to impress. Make sure that you look the way that you would look if you did like this in person and maybe got to go on TV in that outfit. Now, in my setup, I'm only going to be shown from like here up. So I made sure my face looks nice. I did a couple things to it, made it a little less shiny after I moisturized too much this morning. I straightened my bangs, I put my hair up in my typical Jen style, and I'm wearing a shirt that kind of has that like punk rock personality that I have, but also is kind of a little subdued so that I come out more. I wasn't going to wear like a holographic studded jacket or anything just because I feel like people would be staring at the jacket and not me. So I did put effort into the way I look. I'm not stage ready by any means, but I put effort into the way I look to make a good first impression. Because really, that's what this audition is. It's a virtual first impression with the producers of The Voice. That's kind of stressful, right? So the last thing that I want to say before we get into the actual audition part of this video, it's stressful, but I have some really, really good news. So part of that good news is apparently there is a motorcycle outside. But it's all right. They'll pass. Hopefully that doesn't happen during my audition. The good news is that it's not like the live audition where you go, you sing, and then that's it. Like, what if your voice cracks? What if you're nervous? What if you hear the music wrong for a second just because maybe when they pressed play, it missed the first note or something? You know, you never know what's going to happen. This is a live virtual audition. It's at a specific time and everything. But it has a stop, erase, and re-record button. If you mess up, you can try again. I didn't know that until the first time I did it, and believe me, I was so happy about it because if you know me at all, you know I get stage fright even when I'm recording stuff. Even when I'm doing like live recordings, I get so much stage fright and my voice can start to shake and like I can kind of lock up a little bit. So I thought that I just blew it on the first one. And then afterwards it says, are you satisfied with this or do you need to record it again? And I was like, I get another shot? You're kidding. So you do get a couple of tries to do it. You can't take like 2 hours, but you do get a few tries to do it. So if you mess up, just, start again and relax because it isn't just a one and done, whatever you did, and that's the only time you're ever going to audition. Because with the virtual auditions, because you don't have to travel to New York or Atlanta or LA and wait in line for 6 days and hope that you make it to the front, if this time doesn't work out, you can do it again. They're going to come around with more virtual open calls. So they've made it more accessible and they've made it a lot less stressful. So I'm kind of really excited about that. And I hope that this helps you guys with your decision whether or not to audition, or at least it'll help you with the actual audition process. And in doing so, in trying to help you with the actual audition process, I'm actually going to take you along for the ride with me on this audition. I'm going to film myself doing this audition. Now, depending on which camera I'm using, I can't promise that the film of me doing this audition is going to be like the greatest filming you've ever seen, but you will at least have a good shot of like what the audition is like, how long is it, what my intro sounded like, what the audition sounded like. Yes, you guys have to hear me sing, but I mean, you wouldn't be on my music channel if you weren't into that, so here's that. But I'm gonna film that so you can see the process from start to finish and then give you my thoughts on it afterwards. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the audition. Oh, hi. I'm Jenne Vermes. I am a professional tap dancer and musician from Jacksonville, Florida, and today I'll be singing Gravity by Sarah Bareilles. Oh, you loved me 'cause I'm fragile, when I thought that I was strong. but you touch me for a little while, and all my fragile strength is gone. Set me free, leave me be. I don't wanna fall another moment into your gravity. Here I am, and I stand so tall, just the way I'm supposed to be. But you're onto me and all over me. And that was my audition. Um, to be honest, that was the first time I'd ever done it to my satisfaction, at least like enough, I guess, on the first try. That song is very difficult to sing, and I usually blow my vocal cords out doing it full out, but I was okay. I was happy with what I submitted. So you can, after you've like sang it, you can hit review audition, watch it, and if you don't like it, you can delete and try again. And then if you do like it, it says accept and submit, which I did. I say that I did it on the first try, and that's not true. The first try, actually, Bento decided to be extremely disruptive and start clawing my chair and meowing right as soon as I started. And I'm like, set me free, leave me be, Bento! You know, like, it was just so funny. And I'm glad that I recorded that on Zoom so that I can show that to Sean later and be like, look what this little schmuck did while I was trying to do my audition. So these things are going to happen. I think they know that, and I think that's why they give you the option to like redo it. So before we get into my thoughts and feelings on this, I realized that in the first part, I didn't really go into how to set up your audition, and I want to touch on that because it's actually way easier than you think. So you go to NBC, let me see if I remember. Yeah, it's like NBCTheVoice.com, and then you should have like something pop up that's like, oh, The Voice virtual open call auditions. And so you click on that, and it says you can either like set up an artist profile or log into your artist profile. If you've already set up a profile, you don't ever have to do it again unless like something drastically changes about you, like if your name changes or something. But setting up a profile is super, super easy. You kind of just put in your information, you click off the, yes, I understand that you might film me and stuff and all that. And then you pick your day and your time, and your audition is set. You can reschedule. There's so many opportunities to reschedule. I think this one I set for yesterday. No, I set it originally for today at 6 p.m., but then I was like, oh no, I think I have ballet at 6 p.m., so I moved it to 1 p.m. so that I could do it like in the middle of my day. So it's really easy to reschedule. You can work it around what works for you, and honestly, The Voice has just made it so accessible to try to be on their show and not exactly what it used to be, you know, the 6-day line in the heat or the freezing cold and the hopes and the dreams. I still have the hopes and the dreams, but I'm comfortably in my PJs, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, that's the whole process of setting it up. As I'm like noticing in the camera, I'm still shaking because I'm still nervous because I literally just did the audition. So please forgive me for being a little nervous, but it's who I am. I've accepted it. So anyway, that leads into my thoughts on the audition process. They have taken a lot of the stress out. You kind of do it on your time, do it where you're comfortable. The part that kind of stresses a lot of people out, I'm sure, is, but I don't have the equipment that I need. Well, sometimes that could motivate you to get better equipment, and then other times, if it's not in your budget or it's not in your time frame, just go with it anyway. You know, you never know how it's going to work out. I know I said I was going to film with a microphone. I'm holding my microphone right now. Whee, there it is. I didn't, because I had to film with my phone, and unfortunately the microphone that I had is not compatible with the system that they had. Like, it just wouldn't turn on because my camera wasn't on. So that's just the breaks, I guess. So I had to film with just my iPhone camera and just my iPhone, like, microphone. The camera quality was good. Here's hoping the microphone did me justice. I'm supposed to get an email any minute now to let me know if I move on to the next part. I don't have that email yet. I just checked. Like, all of this is, like, real time right here. I don't have that email yet, but I will keep you guys posted. I'm not expecting anything because, like I said, I don't really have the quality of voice that goes on a show like that, but why not shoot your shot, right? Why not go for it? Reach for the stars and try. And the worst that happens is my life keeps going exactly the way that it's been going, and I'm happy with that, right? So my biggest piece of advice to everyone that wants to try to audition for one of these shows that has a virtual open call is, once you've set your audition, or even like if you're thinking about setting the next one, try to put together a nice space to film in. Try to, if you can afford it, try to get a good microphone and a good like webcam to do it with, because it works best on a computer if you have a good webcam setup. So for my next audition, I will be having Sean help me with my 4K camera. Thank you, Sean. If you're watching, which you should be, that's what husbands are for, right? To watch all of your social media posts. So, and set up your 4K camera. If you can, in the amount of time that you have until your audition, give yourself the best like jumping off point that you can by giving yourself a good space to film in, great equipment, whatever you can do to give yourself a leg up on this audition. Because if I'm doing it, I know a million people are doing it. So I've got a lot of competition, and you've got to make sure that you don't need to necessarily like go above and beyond everybody else because you don't know what they have. But at least don't start at the bare minimum. At least don't start with a grainy webcam with bad lighting and a computer Zoom quality microphone. Don't start with that. Try your best to start. Even an iPhone or an Android phone is a better place to start. I was able to do it right from my phone. It is worth doing it that way. I had to get a little creative with how I was going to film it for including it in this video, but Zoom helped me out there. Thank you, Zoom. At least I hope so. I haven't tried to upload it yet. So anyway, I hope that you found this video informative and helpful. I hope that it was kind of fun to go along with the audition process with me. And if you want me to do this with America's Got Talent or anything else, or you want me to do my next voice audition so you can see any improvements that I've made, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, I've done this a couple of times and I've auditioned for several shows before. Never successfully, but that's not really always my point. Most of the time, I'm actually trying to audition for these things in order to figure out how to audition for things, because I'm not an actress. I've never really auditioned for a whole lot before. The only thing I've ever auditioned for was a band, and I got it. So my first audition was super successful, and it never really went anywhere from there. I just stayed in the band. I didn't have to audition again. So if you want to follow along with me, I plan on doing more of these, mostly for the experience and to impart this experience to you, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I've had a lot of fun today. I am full of nerves and starving, so I'm going to go eat now, but I hope you've had a lot of fun. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button. That's what I say on my tap dance channel, but hit the subscribe button. And I put out new music. I put out parodies and originals all the time. Not as often as I would like, but, as often as I can create them with quality. And I recently put out a song that is probably going to be my favorite thing that I've ever written in my whole life. It's called Again One Day. Make sure that you check it out on DistroKid. I have on any streaming service. You can check it out on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. It's available on all of them. I have my DistroKid, what is the word for it? It's like the Launchpad link where you can go and it basically access it on any service. I also have lyrics video, or no, not a lyrics video yet. A lyrics video and a music video are coming for that one, but I have the regular just listen to it with a still picture video on this channel, so make sure you check that out. I also have my other original song, OTP, so make sure that you check that out as well. That's one of my favorite things ever because I wrote it for Sean and we actually just danced to it at our wedding. So that was cool. But yeah, subscribe and hit the thumbs up if this was helpful to you. And if you auditioned for The Voice or for America's Got Talent or American Idol in a live or a virtual setting, let me know how your experience was. So write down in the comments how you enjoyed the experience or whether or not you enjoyed the experience. And I will keep you guys updated in the comments about my email incoming from The Voice. It's still not here, but I'm waiting. So I've had a lot of fun with you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Where I belong, though I can't see your eyes, there's something inside.